Now, moving on to our panel discussion. The discussion topic would be Ecosystem for Innovation, moderated by Dr. Anand Kumar, Dean of Practice School. The panelists will include Ms. Natalia Kisna, HR VP of Gulf Countries at Schneider Electric, Dr. Priyank Upadhyaya, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Parth, a fourth-year computer science student, Adiban, third-year mechanical engineering student, as well as Smriti, fourth-year electronics and communications student. Can we have all the panelists as well as Dr. Anand Kumar on stage, please?
Let me we had, I think Professor Saha very eloquently began the proceedings this morning. He talked about innovation in curriculum, innovation in delivery techniques, and also innovation in education as a whole. And subsequently, we had Mr. Raid Hijr talk very beautifully about innovation in terms of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, AGI, and similar areas. And then finally, we had Nitin Bala talk about he was an electronics and communication student of ours, and he actually started up a company. So it's an amazing thread that we see through and of course, we have had a round of Innovator Awards being given to the various schools. I would like to just kind of bring in Steve Jobs. He had to say this about innovation. He said, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And some of you may not be familiar with the next quote that I'm going to use. Tom Landry was an American football coach. He was well known. And he said that if I had to pick my greatest strength as a football coach, I say it would be innovation. So whether you talk about the industry or whether you talk about sports, innovation is very fundamental. And Edison, some of you might be aware, or some of you might not be aware, had 1,093 US patents. He had 2,332 patents worldwide. And he, of course, he's responsible for every item that uses electricity, as well as concrete in commercial buildings. He created the motion picture industry, the recording industry, the X-ray machine, and even created the tattoo pen. He created companies and was a marketing genius. He amassed about $200 million in 2016 terms. We also have, there was recently a list of universities worldwide in terms of ranking, in terms of number of patents they had. The University of California system had 526 patents in 1 year, that is during the year of 2018. MIT, which you're all familiar with, had about 304 patents during 2018. Stanford had 226 patents. All this is in 1 year. King Fahd University, which is in our region, had 209 patents. And in the bottom 3 of the top 100 ranking, there were 3 universities tied at 25 patents. And this is all in 1 year. Now, patents is not a requirement to have innovation, but it is an indicator of innovation. Now, I think we have already, let me just introduce some of the panelists in a little bit more greater detail. We have Parth, of course, 4th year computer science. Smriti, she's in the 4th year in electronics and communication. And we have Adiban, who is in 3rd year mechanical student. We also have with us Dr. Priyank, and he has done his undergraduate degree at IIT Kanpur and his PhD at University of Alabama in the USA. And we have Natalia Kisina. She's the Vice President of HR at Schneider Electric, and she is in the Gulf countries. She has also previously held positions in Philips and Siemens, and she has an undergraduate degree from University of Leicester in UK. Now with that, I will just kind of go ahead with a few questions that we would like to elicit the responses of our panelists who are quite a good, nice mix of students, faculty, as well as from the industry perspective. First, I'll direct my questions to some of our students, and maybe Adiban can kick off the proceedings. What were the measures taken to promote innovation in your high school and what were the outcomes of these measures?
Morning, everybody. Morning, everybody. My name is Adiban. I did my high school in PSBB in Chennai. My school was like the teachers usually used to select students who are really interested in learning something new apart from the things that are taught in the class. For example, the lab classes that we used to go to, they would find out students who are more innovative and want to learn more. We were offered chances to come after the school, like from 4 to 5 or something, where they would give us more knowledge and they would teach us more about the practical things of how stuff work. I think that inculcated a kind of curiosity and helped me learn more.
Thank you, Adiban.
Thank you.
Smriti, would you like to throw in
Thank
some
you,
light?
sir. Thank you, sir. I studied here in UAE. I studied in Leaders Private School. And I would like to congratulate my school because I'm very proud they won an award here today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And coming to the innovative steps they took, as far as I remember, one of the most important things they always did was conduct the science exhibition every year. They used to call it TechX. And it used to be one platform where all students used to bring in all innovative ideas. I myself remember in my 11th grade, I researched about hydroponics, which I didn't know until the exhibition came up. And it was something really I could take back from school.
Thank you very much. Parth, would you like to say a few words?
Good afternoon, everyone. So, I did my schooling in Delhi, India, Presidium School. So, I joined the school in around 3rd grade, which was 12, 13 years ago. So, my school was the first one to implement those smart boards, the touch screen boards and all. So, that was one of the reasons I joined the school. And, I used to look up for those classes. And, I think they were better than the whiteboard classes. So, my performance was also good in those courses.
Thank you very much, Parth. And now let me just take the next, you can initiate again. Can you mention one lacuna that in terms of innovation that you found in your high school?
I think the use of technology mostly, universities use technology more in a better way than schools. For example, in our college we have telepresence room classes, which allows us to which allows other lecturers from the other countries to teach us. So our course is just not inside our own campus. We can learn from other places too.
Great. Smriti, would you like to take it up?
So I would like my school to implement one concept that is there in our university. It would be make a creative lab where students could stay back because it is not like university where we have free hours in between. So for school students, they can have a stay back maybe weekly once who are interested, and they can do their research in the lab.
Great. I'm sure some of our schools will be keen on that. Please, Adiban.
Sir, I feel the academic requirements put forward by the schools sometimes take more importance than the innovative or the actual practical learning. Although the things that are started in school for innovation and practical knowledge is good, I think over time they all die down and the academic requirements take the upper hand. I feel that change would be pretty good.
Thank you very much.
I want to hire you.
I would love to join you.
Yeah, okay, good.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Natalia. Now we just talk a little bit about the university ecosystem in terms of innovation. Let me, again, we can start with Adiban. How is the university ecosystem in terms of innovation? How has it motivated you? And also, can you share some examples or outcomes of such in this context?
The university and the location that it's placed in encourages innovation and technology. So regarding that, the university is very welcoming in offering courses such as entrepreneurship, new venture creations, and business communications. Such courses help us a lot to think about the future, about what we can do. Obviously, we all want to make a change in the ecosystem. And I think such courses that are put forward by the universities help us a lot.
Smriti would like to add something to it?
I think in our university, in our curriculum itself, we have the opportunity to take up projects, both design and study projects. I think it is the major factor for innovative ideas to come up. And faculties are also very much encouraging, and with their help, we are able to innovate a lot of things.
Great, great. Thank you very much. Please, Parth, would you like to?
Our college is always promoting startups and research in our in the campus. Like a lot of startups have initiated from our college. I'm working on one right now. And also, like for example, on the research side, I'm from the computer science department, so we have a lot of resources, computation power, we have GPUs, etc. So I recently worked on a project, and next week I'm traveling to China for publishing a paper at a big conference.
Well done. Congratulations on your startup as well. Dr. Priyank, I know you have to go back a little bit in time, but can you talk a little bit about the innovation ecosystem in your university, both your undergraduate and graduate days?
Good morning, everyone. So, in terms of innovation, when I was at IIT Kanpur, the course curriculum itself allows that kind of flexibility there, because we used to have regular courses, and in terms of evaluation of those courses, we need to have a project or a hands-on experience involved with each of those courses. In addition to that, we used to have a lot of flexibility in terms of choosing our courses, and not only from the department, we used to have open electives that you can pick from, let's say, other departments. And I'm happy that a similar model is implemented here in BITS Pilani also. So while I'm here as a teacher, I can engage with the students in the same way. I can have my experience as a student at IIT Kanpur and then implement it in a better way here at BITS Pilani. And looking at the whole the idea of innovative projects from the student side, we used to have a lot of professors there in IITs who would bring in what are the recent works that are happening in their areas. So even if it's an undergraduate class, they would start those courses by discussing what are the recent findings from, let's say, top-notch schools in the US, or let's say product-driven research that's happening in Japan. So that was a really nice thing to be knowing in at least undergraduate level courses. And then we used to have a lot of events there, which would be student competitions or international conferences, or it could be even a lunch gathering that happens in the department. So the faculty that would be there, they would discuss about all kind of problems that are there. So unless students know what the problems are there, they'll not come up with solutions. So it's our responsibility to discuss things which we need students to participate in as solution finding team. Another aspect that I loved about, let's say, my both IIT Kanpur and at University of Alabama, they used to stress a lot in terms of team building. So faculties, they would make student groups, and not necessarily they need to be a group of similar department groups. They would pick a student from mechanical department, put him with another student from chemical engineering or computer science engineering, because nowadays you see that there's a lot of computational requirement, or let's say a lot of computer implementation is required for any product that you have. So it's always good to have a team which can have a solution which is complete in that sense, right? So all these facilities were there, and we have a similar work culture and similar infrastructure. That is, at least Professor Saha has been very supportive in that regard. We have a creative lab here where students can work 24/7. In terms of funds also, he is very open about it. If students have a really good project, he supports in that way also. One more thing that I want to add from my experience in US, because in US universities are at probably a very big scale. So yesterday my advisor was here for a conference that we conducted in BITS Pilani. He came from US, and he was saying that the student strength in that university right now is around 34,000. So when we are talking about such a big scale, you end up meeting so many people in the university itself. I am from the area which is solid mechanics. So one of the person, Ellen Bauer, in one of the books, he says at the beginning that whatever you're going to read in this book is from the walls of this Brown University. Because while we are eating somewhere or while we are just hanging out outside, I get to learn so many things from other people. So when you are in such a big university, you end up meeting so many people of different backgrounds and different skills that you will know what they are working on, and you maybe get interested in those problems also. So that's the kind of environment I have been. I have been trying in some way to implement some of those things here, and let's see how it goes. Thank you.
Thank you. Natalia, can you reflect a little bit on your university days?
I think I will not be as lucky as everybody here on the same in the same chair. I feel like I'm 1,000 years old. Unfortunately, my education, my university education was not as practical as you guys describing it, and even you. I mean, I'm quite surprised. For me, it was very theoretical. I think one piece definitely that was missing in my education was really a kind of solving the problems of tomorrow. It was, Natalia, you want to learn something? There is a good book, go read it. There is a good theory, go read it. Write about it, but practical application was down to the minimum. It was very traditional way of education, and I mean, now I think because I was able to go through this experience, I'm able now to see what was missing and how it would help me to accelerate in my career even beyond to where I am today. So I'm in a way quite, I was not kidding, by the way, when I said I want to hire him, because it's true that when people of that age, think already as I'm sitting here thinking like him, I mean, but he's probably, I don't know, 20 years younger than me. So from that perspective, I think it's a completely different ball game. And you were talking about, kind of going away from traditional way of education and potentially, giving more time for you to solve the problems of tomorrow without using the practice of today. I think this is what the industries and this is what the corporations, be it Schneider Electric, Philips or Siemens, this is what we need when we look for the graduates today.
Thank you so much, Natalia. And I'll now go to Dr. Priyank one more time. Now, I would like to ask him to speak from a faculty perspective, how he encourages his students to innovation, and what are the results of these encouragement.
So, can you hear me? Yes. So, as a faculty, let's say, point of view, when we are with the students, one thing that I feel very strongly is you need to tell them that they are the leaders, they hold the command, and they can find the solution. So if you motivate them from that point of view, then they will be very, very, let's say, motivated, and they will put their 100% there. So I would just pick up something from my PhD days. When I arrived in US, my advisor called me and he said that we have a meeting with US Air Force people. They are coming tomorrow. Can you be part of that meeting? I was just a BTech student who just arrived from India to US, and I was really surprised. But he took that much confidence in me, and he allowed me to kind of attend in that meeting. So we had that first meeting. They described the problem that they have, and then we just went to the office and we started looking for solution. I worked on that problem for 4 years, and we had a solution. Now they are implementing it for US Air Force. So I'm trying to, let's say, take the similar ideas here, and I call up students and we discuss some of the problems, and then and we try to correlate it somehow with our curriculum also. So for example, last year I had a student. I was teaching a course on composite materials and design. Composites are where you mix two things and make something, let's say, better, so that the material wise it's doing a better job. So that student got interested, and then we started experimenting in a lab a little bit, and then we made something out of it. We applied for a project. And then we got selected for Expo Live in last year to be funded by them. And another, let's say, idea that we had, one of the students who was working here in computer science department, he had some ideas from machine learning, but he wanted to find a problem where he can implement those ideas. So we discussed in the library for let's say, a few hours with one of the faculties from chemical department, one from computer science department, one from mechanical. So we formulated a problem, I think, 3 months ago, and then yesterday when we had that conference, they won the Best Poster Award there. So we have to pick up problems, we have to discuss with the students, give them the full authority that this is the problem, can you find a solution? They will find a solution. So I'm telling a perspective from a, let's say, academic point of view. But then if similarly we can give them problems that are from day-to-day lives also, and we tell them that, okay, now trust you, go find a solution, they will find a solution. So that's my take on it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Priyank. Now, I will go to the last question for Natalia, and just how much premium does industry place on innovation in recruiting fresh graduates? Please comment on it. I know you've already given some hints so far. Please take it forward from there.
I'm sorry. I mean, if there is only one thing for which I'm going to choose people today is for their ability to problem solve. And innovation, I just want to kind of, because I was listening, innovation does not means, doesn't mean to create something new. It's indeed, innovation is a problem-solving ability. So innovation is just, I'm sorry to say, it's a fancy word for a very simple thing. I mean, it's to solve problems of something that may not exist today, but we have a lot of problems that have to be solved today for tomorrow. So at Schneider Electric, and I will speak on behalf of Schneider Electric, but again, this probably applies to all the great companies that I worked for, including Siemens and Philips. We bet a lot on graduates to take positions from the lowest to the highest level in the company. And I will tell you why. Because we have an inherent problem ourselves. I mean, our problem of solving problems today in our company, it's our own problem. Because we did not change the profile of our employees for faster enough, more courageously enough, and not in line with the progress that is happening outside. I was telling Dr. Anand when we was preparing for the talk, if today I have to speak with a hiring manager, a different level, be it my peer, a business unit VP, or be it head of distribution, the conversation will be very much the same. I will say, I have an amazing young student, graduate, energetic, optimistic, full of energy, full of passion. He's like, Natalia, this is great. How many years of experience he has? I'm like, come on, I mean, we have to take risks, we have to be courageous. So our problem is to really work on this mindset of our hiring managers. But the fun fact is, once we get those guys on board, then those managers, you don't need to convince them anymore, because they get convinced from day one once the students come to their shop floor. And with BITS Pilani, just to mention, very important, I know that Dr. Saha would appreciate that for sure. I mean, we started the internship program in beginning of this year. We had amazing 5 students that join us. And today there is literally an internal fight between the businesses. I want Jayanti. No, Jayanti is mine. No, I want Hannah. It's going crazy. I just don't know, who is going to get them, because the guys are amazing. They are super humble. They are super optimistic. They really see challenges as opportunities. When you give them a problem, they don't come back. They don't walk out of the room with a green face. They actually say, yes, I can do it. I know how to do it. And if I don't know how to do it, I'll make sure I'll find a way. And this is kind of a mindset that we need. And a lot of companies, a lot of our competitors, Schneider Electric competitors, are of the same minds. We need to rejuvenate our workforce. We need those disruptive minds that will bring new ways of working, that will indeed help us to fix the problems of tomorrow, but also to operationalize ourselves in a much more effective, efficient, and productive way. And if it's not them, then who else can do it?
Thank you.
I'm very optimistic about this topic because I love young people.
Yes, thank you so much, Natalia. And I would like to just briefly summarize. I think we heard quite a few viewpoints, and what we heard was that, of course, using technology in schools and in university is a great thing in terms of curriculum delivery and curriculum innovation. But we also heard that mentoring by school teachers and by professors in the universities is an essential part of inspiring innovation. And as Natalia beautifully brought it out, innovation does not have to be a grand idea, but a simple idea which is implemented and which is maybe a known problem for many years, and it can bring out great results. So it does not have to be a grand idea. It can be a simple solution to probably an age-old problem. So I think we have heard many different perspectives, and I think we have had. I would like to once again thank my panelists, Natalia, Dr. Priyank, Parth, Smriti, and Adiban. Can you give them a warm hand clap, please? Thank you so much.
Well, we have a small token of appreciation for you, and I would request Dr. Anand Kumar to present the memento to Ms. Natalia. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Natalia? As we're here today, we have one more dance performance as well as another category of awards. You've been here for a couple of whiles, so you would have several experiences to share with us, as well as some things that you would take back or you want to tell to all our other friends as well. Could you describe your experience today, or BITS Pilani Dubai, in one word?
You are fantastic, students are fantastic, and sir, salute to you. Thank you.
And anyone else? What about you, ma'am?
Well, I'm enjoying everyone's opinion. So, yeah, it's good to see, people coming up with different culture, different thoughts and perspective. And it's like we all are always stuck in a busy schedule, and we don't open up much. But when we come to such places and then we explore, oh my God, and then you feel like, oh my God, what I was doing till now in the world. So it's like when you explore, so it's good to see. I'm like enjoying it, that's all.
Good afternoon all. I enjoyed every session. I enjoyed the efforts the students took, and the way you've presented the program, it shows that it gives a lot of hope to the children who'd love to explore their cultural side as well while studying and pursuing a career. You've given an opportunity for them. So it's heartening to see such lovely performers who are also studying complex subjects like mechanical engineering, computer engineering, but them enjoying life, putting up their best. Also, a lot of interesting talk happened. Like she said, when you're sitting here, you keep feeling, where was I? We don't want to get left out. There's so much to learn. There's such a lot that's happening. And it's so very inspirational. Every moment has to be grasped. Every moment has to be grabbed. So I really enjoyed every session, every talk, every person's perspective, opinion. And it was very, very, very encouraging. And I would like you to maintain the standards the way you've done this till now.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, it's really out of the box. Only the prizes are not innovative, but you people are innovative. There is no second thought about it. And what I like is you are challenging. You are challenging with respect to your curricula. You are challenging with respect to the opportunities. And that's the thing which is taking BITS Pilani at a greater height. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Biju Sudarshan. What struck me today was the discussion on ecosystem of innovation. That brings back my memories of 4 years in BITS Pilani, in Pilani. I'm an alumnus of BITS Pilani of 85 to 89. And the big takeaway for me from there was the best thing that BITS Pilani provided me was the ecosystem where those were the days when startups were not the talk of the day. But even then, we were given an ecosystem where we could go do something that we wanted, including the practice school or the arranging cultural festivals in the college. That's why I find most BITS Pilani graduates end up becoming entrepreneurs. And that's what prompted me to get out of my software field and go start running schools. So that courage came from that ecosystem. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I believe you would continue doing the same, empowering students all around the world. So moving on to our next performance, we have a wonderful dance performance by our Western team.
Let's have, since we all are smiling, we all are happy, everyone is expressing their own way of happiness and how you feel today and now onwards. I'm requesting all of us to have a common signage of a victory or a smile While you're sitting, you do not have to peep in, peep out. You all are going to be visible. We are going to take a group photo. The photographer is all set with the wider lens. And let us all come in one frame of happiness. Can we all have it up? All these photographs along with the video will be shared with you through a Google Drive. You will have the access to all the clicks which you are giving. In the meanwhile, you can also conduct a selfie amongst your table mates. How about that? Done already? Did you hashtag us? Yes, that's something. So those who have not done can also go for a group selfie of your table. Believe me, this is such a wonderful moment to have people from various places take a selfie, yeah. Tables at the back, come on, let's have some selfies going on.
So while you post these photos on social media, don't forget to hashtag us, hashtag BitsDubai, hashtag GISA 2019, followed by hashtag always ahead.